Sagittarius, hey, how are you guys? Hope everybody's doing well. I'm really sorry this is really late. I felt like a dog shit sandwich for a couple weeks, so I wasn't able to get them done. But so I popped in here now, and hopefully you'll still enjoy it. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe, write me a comment. I'd love to hear from you. And happy birthday, by the way. All right, so this is going to be December's 2021 general reading for Sagittarius. All right. If you're new to my channel, thank you so much for popping in, and I hope you enjoy it. You'll come back to see me again, and if you have been here before, I really do appreciate it. And let's get started. We got the Knight of Pentacles, the Four of Cups, and the Two of Cups in your past energy. The Seven of Swords, Justice, and the Six of Wands in the present. Five of Cups, the Three of Swords, and the King of Swords for the possible outcome. Alright guys, let's see what we can see from here, and then I'll clarify with a different deck. Well, it looks like in your recent past, possibly you were working, you had the idea to have something come out to you, well, not come out to you, but you're building up something, possibly in business, possibly in a job, where you're trying to grow monetarily, or a form of finance, making something grow gainfully. And it's a slow process. It's a really slow process, because Mr. Knight of Pentacles here, he doesn't move that fast at all. But you know, if it's something you could build upon, and it will eventually get there, but you have to keep going. And then I see this Four of Cups energy, where you may have felt like, the way I describe him is like you see him, he's kind of like bratty looking. And I feel like it's like, okay, you have 3 cups. They gave you 3 cups, but you wanted more, and so this wasn't satisfying to you. You were like disappointed and just kind of annoyed by it. So when they finally offered you that 4th cup, and again, this could be in job or relationship, whatever the situation was, you were like, no, I don't want it now. So you were like dissing it all because this didn't come when you expected it, or when you thought you should have had it. And so it almost makes you feel like you were feeling certain kind of way for a little bit of time, maybe. Because right after that, I have this Two of Cups energy. Now again, this could be like a relationship, but it could also be just like a platonic relationship. You know, a really good friend, a business partner, somebody that you have a bond with. And so, I don't know. But then right after that, in the present energy, we have the Seven of Swords, which is like deceit, lies, you know, somebody not being truthful. Could be you, could be somebody else towards you, or just in and around you. Maybe it's not even like directed at you, just it's in your vicinity, like you're aware of it. So, but when we clarify, maybe we'll get more detail. But right after that, I have the Justice, which is kind of interesting, because if something did go on with this, the lying and deceit and maybe theft, whatever it could have been, justice would be the most, obvious response, I guess. If it's not really that, this could be based on, you feeling like you need to have fairness and like lawfulness, and a certain feeling of everything being even and equal, and not, they always say justice is blind, not being based on what you think you know, what you heard, or anything like that. It's basically based on what the fact is. Now it's weird because it's right in the center of the reading, and sometimes that feels to me that's way, for some reason, it's like poignant. It like feels very serious if it's in the center of the reading. So like this whole thing might be about that. But we don't know that yet. Hold on. And now with the Six of Wands energy, it's like, all right, so you got recognition. You're being acknowledged by something, for something, by someone. Again, I don't know if it's your social group, your work, it could be anywhere. But you're being acknowledged for something that you did. And that makes you feel happy, I'm sure. Then we have this Five of Cups. And this is like this feeling of missing something. So like maybe things that you've had and are not there anymore. And it could be people. I mean, maybe you were thinking about, people from your past, whether it's, family or friends or, you're thinking about your childhood, things that have changed so much. And you're just like really missing what used to be. And you got to really just remember, you do still have those two cups behind you. So it's just like, turn around, look, acknowledge what you still have. And don't put too much effort and energy into these things that are no longer. Right? And that's interesting because now the Three of Swords comes up right after that. And this is like heartbreak. This, it's almost like, every time I look at it, I feel it's like a physical gut punch. Something hurt you. And I don't know if it was a grief based on, somebody passed away or if a relationship ended or if a good friend is no longer around. So could be in any realm, but it does. It just feels like it's like, ow, And it's just, it is interesting that the Five of Cups is like right before that. So I'm thinking like, were you missing something before? And that's why you felt hurt because you were missing something before and it wasn't even directly about this happening? Or, nope, let me change that. Or this is just recent and the hurt's there. I'll clarify and we'll see, because... Okay, yeah, we'll clarify this. Because then we have the King of Swords. This guy, I always think of him as, all right, he's very strong, he's very fair, he's very analytical, critical thinking, and he's not wishy-washy. There's no wishy-washy going on. When I think of him, I think of judge, lawyer, somebody, who has to make these kinds of decisions. And with justice right here, it kind of made me feel that it might have something to do with that. And this like conniving little Seven of Swords guy over here. But then this could be you. This could be you taking an analytical stance to things, or where you're looking at it like, whatever it is, you don't want the wishy-washy. You want the facts, just the facts. And so this could be somebody somebody you're working with, somebody's like kind of like guiding you through whatever this went on here. All right, let's see if we can get any kind of clarifiers. All right, what else? This is Knight of Pentacles. Okay. All right, got the Page of Pentacles and the Knight of Swords. That's interesting. All right, well, the Page of Pentacles. Now that is like a new start to something. So apparently, yeah, you had the new start because we saw with this Knight, it was moving. It was moving slowly. So there's the new start with that. But now you have this energy of the Knight of Swords. Now this guy always kind of reminds me of, all right, he's going fast, whatever it is. And he's, again, very smart, very on point. But they also have the tendency to have this like chaotic energy about them. If you know somebody like this, they're in your environment and they can actually come in and just totally tear it up. Not physically, but change things and, make things like a little bit out of whack. But in the end, it's all okay. Like, so you might know somebody who's literally just like coming into you and saying, okay, look, we could do this, this, and this. And you'd be like, okay. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, it's better now. So if this is the kind of person that's with you, you want them on your side. They're like good to have around, even though it might be a little bit disruptive at times. It's not in a bad sense. And, they just might want to shake things up. That could also be your energy too, because you might be thinking, hey, this is taking so long. Maybe if I shake it up and I change things a little bit and I, make it go about it a different way, then it will go a little bit faster. So what about this Four of Cups? Please tell me about the Four of Cups for Sagittarius. Four of Cups, Sagittarius, December. I got the Strength and the Five of Cups again. Well, it looks like whatever you're trying to do, you're trying to handle something diplomatically. You're trying to be reasonable and rational and, not being heavy-handed about it for whatever the situation is. Like I said, if this is in a job or a relationship or just in your social life, however that works, you were feeling like you weren't given what you deserved. Like you felt like you deserved more, and, they didn't offer it to you, so now you're like, okay, well, maybe I don't want anything you're going to give me now. And so I feel like, you're trying to be diplomatic about it. You're trying to, not to, be too heavy-handed. You're trying to, make your point or, let people understand that you're not being just like that brat. You're just being, you're just being honest. I should have had this and I didn't get it. So, I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to handle it. Because then you have this Five of Cups again. And maybe at some point you're realizing, well, if I do this and I don't accept what they're giving me now, I might be missing out on something later. So maybe you're having a little bit more time to think about it and say, well, you know what? Maybe that fourth cup wasn't that important. I didn't really need that. Like in that kind of consent. Now, again, obviously it's not that, but not, but just the idea of maybe I don't want to push it too far. Maybe I don't want to give up that much just to get what I wanted then. Because maybe I want to rethink it because this dude looks sad. He looks so sad. So it might be something that you have kind of going around in your head being like, okay, well, is this really worth it? Like you don't want to regret a decision you make because you make it out of spite or you make it out of you just thought you should have more. Like you don't want that kind of regret. What about this Two of Cups? All right, this World and the Five of Wands. That's interesting too. Everything's so interesting to me. All right, these guys. Now the World, you're complete. There's a wholeness to the situation. So whatever this relationship is, you feel whole about it. You feel complete. It's kind of like checking all your boxes, and you feel like this is something that was, at that time, worth it to you. And, made everything better, I guess, for that time period. Because you were feeling whole and complete and satisfied. But there might have been a lot of chaos around it. If this is a relationship we're talking about, and again, any romantic, platonic, there was chaos around this relationship. This is like constant pushback. This is almost like, you're taking 2 steps forward, you're getting 3 steps back, and you're not really getting anywhere. It's like everybody's just, maybe not everybody's, probably just 1 or 2 people, but you're just kind of like, you're always trying to be heard, and everybody's fighting to be heard, and it's kind of, and again, almost like a challenge or a competition. Like, so if it is a relationship, or if it is a business partner, whoever this is, everybody wants to be heard. Everybody wants their ideas taken. They want everything to be taken seriously, and it's kind of like this battle of, well, I want or you want, blah 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 blah. You know what I mean. But there was wholeness at first, so things were complete. You felt really complete, and then all of a sudden it was like, but maybe it's not even all of a sudden. Maybe it just always was that way. I mean, maybe that was the relationship. Some relationships are built in that sense where they just always feel like they're like competing against each other, and not really meaning anything bad by it. Just it's a competition, or it's just like a challenge. Everything is harder than it maybe you would expect it to be. All right, what else we got? 7 of Swords. What we got for 7 of Swords? Oops. Okay. 7 of Swords for Sagittarius. The Hangman and the Sun. Well, it looks like if there was deceit going on around you or to you, or if you were doing it, you might have needed to stop and say, okay, well, let me look at something different. Let me look at this a different way. Because possibly maybe it wasn't even something being untruthful or something not being, told to you. But maybe it was just maybe you didn't understand it exactly the way it came out, or you misinterpreted it for something that it wasn't. And if you're able to find that out and you're able to realize that, then you would actually feel better about it. You know, you could look at it in a different sense. So what about this justice then? Why is justice here? Why is justice here for Sagittarius? All right, we got the King of Cups. And justice again. Wow. Well, yeah, remember when I said it's pertinent? It's where it's... No, now it really is. Something's going on as far as you needing to have something handled out. Like, and I don't know in what regard this is. I don't know where this is. But this King of Cups guy, I mean, I feel like he's all about emotions and feelings. And, you know, even though you want things to be fair and equal, and but I feel like you're, the only way I can think of it is like you're somewhere your heart is involved in this, whatever this situation is. So I don't know if this is a court case. I don't know if this is like paperwork or just like I can't even think of the word, counseling or something. Not even counseling. No, it's not counseling. It's just something. I feel like it has to do with court, where a verdict's going to be made somewhere along the line, and it's going to affect you, affect your feelings, affect your emotions, in whatever sense it's going to be. But with justice being there, it's like, okay, you want it to be fair, you want it to be equal, and you don't want to have any problems with anybody saying that you weren't fair in the situation. But I feel like it is going to affect you one way or the other with, with where your emotions stand, because this Three of Swords right here, it's right underneath it, and I feel like that has something to do with it. It might not have affected you yet. You haven't felt it yet, because it's not final. Maybe it hasn't actually, but you see that's going there, maybe. Let's see what the Six of Wands says. All right, the King of Wands. And the Six of Swords. Well, King of Wands, Sagittarius, this is you. And this is like, very strong leader, very charismatic, And people like, whereas if you're in a situation, people look at you and say, what's Sagittarius doing? Maybe this is like the attitude that you bring to people. You try to guide people and they want to follow you. They literally want to follow you. They just, they think you're cool, guy or girl, doesn't matter. And they look up to you kind of feeling. And I feel like with this being, this acknowledgement and you being, kind of awarded for something, acknowledged for something, that's the feeling that they have about you. So wherever that is. But I feel like you might want to think about moving away from this situation. So I don't know if this is your job or this is your life. I have no idea. But it feels like you might find that it's like not as calm as life could be or calm as the work could be. And it might be like rocky. So you feel like you need to get away from it. So it could be something you have, kind of in the hopper where like, okay, yeah, I like this job and everything. And I like that people look up to me. And I think it's awesome that they see me this way. But I'm thinking I need to move on. I guess it could be in other aspects of life too. I mean, yeah, I guess it could be. Just feel like you need to move on at some point. Well, this Five of Cups down here. We got the Four of Wands and the Tower. Now this Four of Wands, this could be a celebration. This could be, a wedding, engagement, whatever. But when I see it sometimes, it feels like stability. This feels like stability. You could say, like people say, home or whatever. But when I see the Four of Wands like that, it just feels like stability. So your stability's here. And maybe you're missing something about it because you got the Five of Cups here. And the Tower comes out, and it kind of like wipes things out that doesn't have a strong foundation. And even though it's sudden, they they read it as, I mean, well, it is. It says a sudden ending, a sudden destruction of something, and you didn't see it happening, whatever. And I feel like I was watching something about, it was an astrological one, and they were saying that even though the Tower says, oh, it gets sudden, but the way they described it was like there's always a beginning. It's like there's like this tectonic plates, I'd say, and the stuttering and the shuddering, and you see the like small quakes or whatever. It's going on. It's just maybe it happens so suddenly that it kind of rocks your foundation, like it happened way faster than you thought it was going to, whatever the situation might be. But I'm feeling if you got this Five of Cups here and you have the Five of Cups there, I think it's all, this feels like it's attached. It just feels like it's all part of the same situation. Like, I don't even know about the middle part here, but it feels like this, the past and the outcome, it seems very attached because it's like kind of got the same storyline going on. And I feel like your foundation is kind of shuddering because the Tower comes along and just moves along a lot faster than you thought it would be. Three of Swords. That kind of makes sense. The Three of Swords and Ten of Swords and the Emperor. Okay. Well, that makes sense. All right, so there's an ending. All right, you got hurt. Something hurt you. And like saw with the King of Cups up here, he's all engaged. He's good. He's got feelings, and he's kind of not this King of Swords guy. The King of Cups he's much more emotional, and he has a lot more feelings, and he's actually afraid of being hurt. So he won't go too deep into a relationship, even though he wants the relationships, and this could be male or female, even though he wants the relationships, he's afraid to get hurt. I'm not saying this is you, but that's kind of like the way he feels, and with this Justice coming up, so I don't know what went on with that, but it makes me feel like, okay, so then you got hurt because when this foundation came out from under you, and it was an ending. It was the ending to the situation. So not only did you get hurt, maybe you felt like you were betrayed, maybe you felt like you got stabbed in the back. And then you have this Emperor, and he's all about, being really strong and being really easy. He can make the hard decisions. He can do what he has to do, and he doesn't question himself. He doesn't question his thought process. And as far as he goes, he's right. So whatever it is that you're trying to like talk him into or talk him out of, no. So if that's the energy that you have right now, that's what you're going to have to, maybe that's what you need to be able to pull yourself together. Because like I say, this is ouch, okay? This is ouch right here. And I'm sorry, but it just feels like that hurts. That really hurts. And the King of Swords. What can we find out about this? Oops. Hey. What do you want? I'm going to put it over here. It's the Page of Wands. We wanted to come out for some reason. King of Swords. Queen of Pentacles. And the Knight of Cups. Well, it looks to me like, now this King of Swords is representing you. Just where, you're going to have to be strong and, put your emotions aside for a little while and not have to think about it too much anymore. Like after this, you need to not be thinking about it so much, I think. And you're going to actually feel a point where you have like this stable feeling, this more like grounded, I can take care of what I need to, I can take care of myself, I'm not going to worry about things. And you're going to be able to move on because I think eventually you'll be able to offer your heart again to somebody else. Oh, that's why. That's why the Page of Wands came out. Because you're going to be able to have a new start in, in something like passionate and romantic. creative, something that you can get a hold of and feel good about. It's just right now, or not right now, whatever this outcome is, if this happens, I mean, you're going to have, that's not going to be easy to get up from. But I feel like if you, give it time and let it do its, let's do its part to get on with things, you'll be able to start again with, newer things. All right? All right, guys. Well, I hope this answers some questions for you. If you can give me a thumbs up, share, subscribe. And I hope if this is you guys, if this resonates, I really hope you do all right, okay? And I will be seeing you probably in about around January or maybe at the full moon, all right? Take care.